Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a 500-piece limited edition from 2018 in carbon fiber. This is the TAG Heuer Monaco by Bamford Watch Department, a combination of Swiss precision and British styling flair. It's a watch that takes one of Heuer and later TAG Heuer's most recognizable designs and adds the unique design sensibility of George Bamford. The timepiece is 39 millimeters in diameter. It's really 39 millimeters square, if we're honest. 14.5 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip. The lugs extend a bit beyond the case. It measures 47.7 millimeters across the wrist with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now I'm going to throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and remind you that it's best to look at a watch that is non-round and see how it wears rather than go by the bare dimensions, because this wears like a 42 or a 43, not like a 39. If you're expecting this to wear like some sort of a Calatrava, you're going to be a little bit shocked. It's a big watch, but being made mostly of a combination of leather, sapphire, and carbon fiber, it's also a very light watch. You can see in profile it's thick enough and sheer enough that it's not going to fit underneath a tight dress cuff, but a jacket should be just fine. Don't worry about wearing this with formal men's attire. I would recommend having a wrist of at least 15 centimeters circumference for this to look proportionally correct. Now, taking a look at the strap and the clasp, the hardware and the software, there's a silken, almost satin sort of nubuck feel to the leather that's used. It's a matte, large rectangular scale alligator leather. You can see it uses a sheer cut side showing the layers of leather, a monotone stitch. There's quite a bit of bolstering as you approach the case, so it's stuffed to give it volume. Now you'll note there are no perforations in the strap, and on the underside it is conventional calfskin. Everything on this watch, the strap, the buckle, the crown, the dial, the rotor, it's all Heuer branded. And we're seeing more and more of this on modern launches from TAG Heuer, leading me to wonder how long the post-1985 TAG Heuer nomenclature is going to endure. I see a future in which the brand becomes Heuer once again, and this watch is a little bit of a preview of that future. Now, the strap, of course, doesn't have perforations because the buckle, which is Heuer branded, features a crimping system. So you actually tuck the strap in. You can see this little TAG Heuer shield style lock will crimp the strap, hold it in place, and so you size it without holes, and then the excess length tucks underneath, so there's no need for minder loops externally, and all the excess length is out of sight and out of mind. Now what we have here is a PVD metal. You can see that the clasp itself is in stainless steel, and it's a twin trigger release, so it can't pop open accidentally. It is not friction fit, it doesn't snap shut. It is a click shut with a trigger system that must be engaged on both sides to open it up. So it is a sports watch in that regard, secure on the wrist. We have a case that is machined from carbon fiber, and you can see it's a sort of carbon fiber matrix. It's not a weave or a coherent unidirectional design. It's compressed, it's cured, and then it is machined to the shape you see here. So you can see all of the fibers splayed out in every possible direction. And while there are 500 of these watches, no two will have the same patterns of fibers. You can see blackened chronograph pushers, and of course, it is a lefty winder designed to remind you of the original caliber 11 and its ancestors dating back to 1969. The watch you see here is powered by a version of a Sellita SW300 with a Dubois de Praz chronograph module, but it's been modified for 3 o'clock side controls and 9 o'clock side winding. Now this is a 39. It's a little bit bigger than historical Monacos, but you can see it has a dramatically cambered and faceted sapphire that stands proud of the bezel. And you will note that the watch includes a matte black dial base, and then there's this blue color used throughout, which Bamford terms aqua blue, and I'm not going to quibble, it does look like aqua blue. We have a few faceted rhodium-plated steel indices, flat and lateral across the dial, and then we have a track for reading the chronograph seconds, fractions of seconds, the hours, and the minutes of the day. We have squared-off registers for chronograph minutes and constant seconds. Then we have that same aqua blue on a black date disc. Now the watch does include a quick set system for the date, as well as hacking seconds for the time. It uses a Dubois de Praz vertical clutch chronograph module, so there's no jump or stagger to the engagement of the chronograph. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It's on 59 joules. You can see through a smoked sapphire on the back. This is a handsomely finished but machine finished movement. Again, SW300 base, bidirectional automatic winding with a 40-hour power reserve. All of this water resistant down to 100 meters, and it says so right here. The case back, as you can see, is actually a piece of PVD metal. The remainder of the case is forged carbon. And again, even on the rotor, it says Heuer. I sense a trend here. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Let's see how the aqua blue watch looks in the dark. How about that? A timepiece with fully loomed sub-registers, loomed in the negative from behind the hands of the seconds and the minutes. Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com.